RPM Trey Vietnam in this bitch. What the fuck is up? Yo. So, if y'all didn't know, I'm an aspiring filmmaker. I've been aspiring to make films for a long time. It's strange because my senior year of high school, before I thought that I would go to college and study films and filmmaking, I wanted to make a movie with my auntie's camcorder with my friends. We were going to make a short little film so that we always had something to remember each other by, just in case, like we do what a lot of people say happens. You graduate high school. Some people go off to college, get jobs, move, get married and shit. Lots of shit change, and you will find yourself with a great distance between you and some of your best friends growing up, and then that's exactly what happened to us. But I had this idea that we would make a short film so that we all have something to remember each other by. And I had no idea about editing and how that was going to work. I was sitting there writing this fucking extensive script. My homeboy read some of it and he was like, nigga, this is a lot. How you even gonna pull this off to make this even look realistic? My imagination was going way beyond our capabilities. And I was trying to do this for fun. I wasn't even thinking I was going to be a filmmaker. At this time, I thought I was going to go to college to be an architect. I was supposed to do 3 years at Cole College and then 4 years at a sister college in Washington, in St. Louis called Washington University. I was supposed to go down there to do my last 4 years, so I have a 7-year total to be an architect. I would have been the fucking hoodest architect ever. And what I wanted to do is residential or domestic architecture. I wanted to design nice houses, fancy houses for middle class and upper class people. That's what I wanted to do with my life. But that ended up falling apart. We couldn't keep everybody together for any kind of rehearsals or actually recording this shit. But I had the idea, and that's what matters, because later on when I go to college, after that first year of getting my feet wet, trying to iron out a curriculum, realizing that what it is that I had to do was going to be trickier than I thought, because money was an issue. After that first semester or so, almost the first school year was over, when I got to college, I was like, yo, I struggled to pay for this first semester. I got a scholarship. I got an art scholarship because I can draw my ass off. I'm gonna have to show y'all some of my drawings and shit that I had to showcase when I went to the scholarship competition at Cole College. I don't know, like a year, not a year, a month before my senior year of high school ended. There was this competition to come to Cole College in Cedar Rapids to display your art, and they were going to pick who they thought they were going to give the scholarship to, and they gave it to me out of, like, I don't know, eight or nine other people. And that was pretty dope, and that helped a lot, but it did keep me from the battle that would ensue. Every damn semester they were talking to me like, yo man, you gotta pay up, you gotta pay your bill up, or we're gonna have to ask you to not be here. So every semester, not every semester, but almost every semester throughout college, that's what the issue was. I had to work my ass off to pay to stay there, and then my grades failed, and then I would follow that up in the next semester with working my ass off to try and keep my grades right, and it just went back and forth, back and forth. After that first year, I knew this was going to be an issue, because Cole College at the time was like $29,000 a year, right? My mom was still getting food stamps when I went off to college. I wasn't. How the fuck was I supposed to pay for this? They don't tell these poor kids this shit. They don't tell a lot of kids this shit. You are going to throw yourself into a pit of debt trying to go to college. But they told, multiple generations of kids, mine included, that if you don't go to college, you weren't gonna be shit. And that was scary to us to hear that if we didn't get to college, then it was gonna be rough for us. Not only that, but especially if you show any sign of potential, any sign of hope, they really got on your ass. And I was a smart kid. I got A's and B's in high school. I got a few C's here and there, but school was relatively easy for me. And my grades was up there. My GPA was like, I don't know, it was like 3.3, something like that. It was decent. you know. So I had that going for me, but everybody was all over my ass like, yo, go to college, go to college, go to college. I was like, I have to go. I ain't gonna be shit if I don't. I'm smart enough, and everybody believes in me. I have to go do this. So I ran off, man, got into that motherfucking college debt. Crazy. But wanted to make films was always in the back of my mind. So when the architecture thing kind of fell apart, because I knew I wasn't gonna be able to pay for that shit, I started looking for some way to save the efforts that I already made to get to college for me to transition into something else that wouldn't take me 7 years and that wouldn't send me down to Washington University in St. Louis, which was probably like 40 something K at the time. So yeah, when I seen that, I was like, how the fuck am I going? I'm never gonna make it. I'm never gonna make that shit, bro. So that was kind of heartbreaking because I really thought I was going to be an architect. But had I done that, my life wouldn't be what it is right now. I wouldn't have had the kids that I had. I might not have been no activist. Ain't no telling what I would have went through. It might have completely changed my life. And I don't think that everything in life is meant for you per se. But I do think life starts presenting itself that it can bring out different aspects of your personality and the qualities that you have to offer the world. Different things will pop up to say, hey, maybe you want to be this version of you or that version of you, and that would have just been another version of me. But I like the version of me that I turned out to be right now. All my kids, that all fell in the line real good. My firstborn son was born on my birthday. We got the same birthday. And then my second child didn't come until 13 years later, which is crazy to me because the girl that I was with at the time, she couldn't get pregnant. There was something wrong. Her body wasn't receiving or doing its part. She didn't get pregnant. So by the blessings of the fucking universe, the entire time I was going through the battle of my life, trying to fight in court, in custody, in family courts and all that bullshit that family court has to offer you, the whole time I was doing that, I wasn't making no new babies. And that's fucking good, because that would have added stress and an element to my life, especially with the girl that I was with, that it just wouldn't have worked out because me and her didn't work out, and I had this dark feeling that it wouldn't work out just because she had some whole tendencies and shit like that, and I just wasn't vibing with that shit, and that sucked because I wanted to care about her, and I did. I was in love with her, but that shit just didn't work out. And she ended up falling right into some whole tendencies, man. But anyway, it was dope that I didn't have no kids during that time, so I could focus on this. And right when the tension in the custody battle with my son began to lessen a little bit, it just wasn't as bad. It got real bad. It climaxed. It spiked, and then it went downhill. Not so much downhill in a negative, but the climax subsided. It went away. Things kind of chilled out. Transitioned into me actually getting my son, who I was fighting in the courts about. She gave him up willingly, and I'll tell that story some other time. Out of doing all that fighting, she ended up giving me my son willingly. Fucking crazy. Women and family court is a crazy thing. That's actually what woke me up when I started looking into why I had to be getting the short end of a stick of a battle over my son when I was the only good guy. His mother was crazy. The new boyfriend that she had got at the time, who she still kind of with, I think, they ended up having 4 kids together. He's a nobody. He was accused of fucking touching his little brother and little sister in some court papers that they sent me when they, man, I'll tell you the story some other time. But I say all that to say that damn, these motherfuckers almost sideswiped me. You can't on ramp and then just merge no matter what's happening. It's me and fucking 40 cars behind me. You thought you was just gonna come out here like that? You didn't even look. If you looked, you would have known that you can't come out here like that. What the fuck? Damn. So what was I saying? Yeah. So you know, all of that helped me a bunch in the path for my life after that. It all fell into place the way it was supposed to. I had my next son 13 years after my firstborn son, and his mother's not all there either. And like I said yesterday in one of my live streams, I got a problem. It might be a character flaw, but I always feel like it's the moral thing to do, is that whenever possible, even if I say it to myself, to keep me calm, cool, and agile when trying to navigate somebody else's fucking emotional baggage and their personal flaws and shit. I always try to remind myself that who people are when I meet them had nothing to do with me. I can't take blame for it, and then maybe I should cut a little bit of slack whenever possible, because when people are manipulative, backstabbing, greedy, shit like that, you're a grown-ass woman. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I do that to you. That's who you are. So I won't take blame for it, and I'll try not to take it personally. But yeah, my second son's mother, man, she got some soul searching to do. She need to go talk to a therapist. She need to lay her ass back on the couch with a slight incline for her neck, head, and back. Lay back, relax, and tell somebody the truth about your fucking life and how you feel and where it's coming from. That's what she needs, big time. She needs multiple sessions. Because I can go on and on telling stories about her crazy ass. She's a sweet person, but only when she's getting what she wants. As soon as she don't get what she wants, you'll be like, how is this the same person who was trying to be so nice to me, who I was trying to be so nice to, and now you're acting like this? This is crazy. You acting like a straight up enemy, like somebody who was sent here to do harm to my life. Like, you are insane. She is not a good person all the time. But then me and her ended up breaking up. I broke that one off. And I'm with my current girl right now. So I got 3 baby mamas. I don't give a fuck about none of the stereotypes. Because all my kids be under one roof that I fucking pay for in my fucking house. I can snap my fingers and get all my kids in one house that quick. And it happens often. All my kids know each other. It's not like such a splintered family that this multiple baby mama thing even plays a real motherfucking factor. The 2 baby mamas that I got to deal with since my first baby mama, the son we got is grown. This nigga 20 years old, lives right here in Cedar Rapids. Me and him is like this. That's my guy. My other 2 baby mamas, they get along. I pay for them to go out and get their fucking feet done and little shopping, little trips and shit. I done given them money for them to go together without me, to go hang out like that, so I can have all the kids at the house, Nerf gun wars and all type of shit. So I smooth it out with my propensity to lend a helping hand, to extend the friendship when things are dramatic or chaotic. I'm always the peacemaker, trying to smooth things out and trying to get people focused on a more positive thing that we could be doing, thinking, and approaching these issues with, than you know, jealousy and shit like that. And there'll be a little bit of that. Sometimes they get jealous that they think that I like one more than the other or some shit like that. Baby mamas be bugging, but for the most part, they keep the peace. And when things get real crazy, they team up together, and neither one of them really takes my side per se. But my current girl, she's cool. She's the one that's she's the understanding one. She keeps the peace in times where I can't, and that's good. But that's neither here nor there. Then I had 2 kids with my current girl, my only daughter and my youngest, who's a boy. So I had 4 kids, right? I got 4 kids. My oldest one was born on my birthday. Then I had a boy, then I had a girl, then I had another boy. And that's exactly the way my mom had her kids. She had me first. There wasn't no big gap between them, but the order of the kids is the same. My mom had me, then she had my brother, then she had her only daughter, and then she had her youngest child, who was a boy, and I had the exact same pattern. So I think that's cool. I talk a lot about how beautiful life is, that all of these little things tend to guide your life and make it what it is. Sometimes this shit is out of your control. Sometimes it's well within your control. Sometimes it's shit that other people do to your life to guide it in this way. But man, I don't know, man. The architecture thing, my guidance counselor that I had in high school that suggested that if I wasn't going to go to UNLV like I wanted to, my mom said, fuck that, hell no. Way from Illinois all the way to fucking Las Vegas to go to college at 18. She was like, fuck no. It was the one thing that, you know, at my age, at that time in my life, that she tried to tell me what to do. She was real good on giving me the freedom. She was proud of me for even wanting to go to college, for being so eligible to go to college, and having that opportunity, that in the midst of all of that, she just kind of let me be free to choose what I wanted, because she wanted me to make them choices. But when I said UNLV in Las Vegas, she said no. She said you gotta get closer to home than that. You gonna need help. You gonna need home cooked meals and visits and shit. How the fuck you gonna do that from UNLV? So I came right across the river to Iowa, and that was the advice of my guidance counselor at the time, because she went to school in Iowa, and she was trying to sell me on going to the same college that she went to. She was doing a little too much. She was too excited to try to send me to the college that she went to. Um, but if it wasn't for all of that influence, ain't no telling what my life would have been like. Uh, and like I said, waking up to government corruption and illusion uh, is what made me what I am today. But that happened when I wanted to move to California. I was broke, but I had got a job and I was saving up money pretty good. I had about $7,000 saved up, which was crazy to me because it was the first time in my life that not only was I making money, but I was able and diligent about saving it. So I saved some money, and that was dope, man. I was gonna move to California. I was gonna start a T-shirt, a line of clothing called Street Armor, and it was all about gun violence awareness and prevention. Now, this was before I was trying to be a fucking a gun rights activist. This shit always precedes me. It always comes from something else that I was always doing, that I was already doing. So I had this idea about after buying a gun, I got this idea that all the shit that I was learning after I entered the gun world, that I was going to be like, okay, so let's do some message T-shirts, some cool designs and shit, and then it's going to be all about gun ownership. And I called it Street Armor. I had made a little bit of money on that. I was investing a little bit of money, trying to develop it, doing some embroidery and all type of shit. I still got some of the shirts. I had to show y'all some of this shit. And this shit is like fucking 12 years old, 13 years old. Some of this stuff is. Um, um, Shit, even older. Some of it's like 15, 16 years old. I was way ahead of my time with doing that. But I was planning on having that be my side hustle, getting a job once I got to California and moving over there with about $10,000 of what I wanted to do. And then she started fighting me like crazy about my son, trying to challenge me. Really, she was challenging my life. Was I gonna go to Hollywood, or was I gonna stay here to fight her and her crazy evil boyfriend over my son, because he might be in danger? And I chose my son. I spent $7,000 on a lawyer. I was gonna give him the other 3,000. Coincidentally, what he wanted was $10,000 to fucking kill the case, to beat this case here for custody, promising me that if I was in the right, that he would give me custody of my son. And he never did. $7,000 was all I gave him. He said, give me more money. And I felt like he was trying to string me along, trying to bleed me dry, just like she said she was going to do. My lawyer was doing the same thing, because we could have killed this case in 1 or 2 days, because I had recorded phone conversations of her admitting that she was going to bleed me out, make up shit in court, drag this shit out till I run out of money, and that I would never get to the point that I was trying to make in there, because she was still the show were pretending to be scared of me, especially since she knew that I was in possession of firearms, all of this type of shit. So, yeah, man, that's sad. I ended up looking up support from father groups that were trying to fight for custody, because I felt like they were favoring her way too much, and that this was crazy. The case should have been a slam dunk. And then I discovered the straw man information. I discovered the straw man information. The birth certificate is a contract. You bond your child to the state as a ward of the state when you sign that birth certificate. I discovered all that shit, and poof, here I am, Trey Vietnam. This bitch saved me. She literally took my money that I was going to use to move to California, said, no, put that money into investing in your awakening. And that's what I ended up doing. Gave $7,000 to a lawyer for me to wake up, to realize that government is crazy and evil, that they're not here to do any good. They're here to move money around. They don't care about kids. They traffic the children. They're behind a lot of that. That's why something so big can go international and be uninterrupted. There's government business involved in that. When you use government as a shield, you can get away with the atrocities that they pretend to be trying to stop. You can actually get away with it, and then they often do. The biggest acts of drug trafficking and human trafficking have a government hand pushing that shit. That's why I say fuck them. That's why I have no mercy or relent. When I say fuck them, I say what the fuck I want to say. They've already committed acts that are deserving of 10 years in prison or more, maybe even life, maybe even death. A lot of them have, right in front of you too. They don't trust none of the people, when a few of the people do some crazy shit with an AR, but when government systematically does these crazy things and I say fucked up, everybody look at me like I fucked up, like I said something wrong. Like, why can't I fucking muster more faith than that in government? Why can't I? Kiss my dick. Man, I'm not finna fucking argue with low intelligence about trusting government. We all know that we probably shouldn't trust them, and that's a given. And then once we go there in agreement, because it's the only thing that makes any sense, that we should try not to trust them so much because they can get away with shit when we do that. Man, the cat's out of the bag, bro. Fuck them. They deserve a revolt, and I don't even care what that looks like after that. People want to go along to get along and try and pander to the government shit. I can't do that. I think we'd be better off if they are disturbed where they can't move forward and what it is that they're doing. I think anything that we do to disturb them is way better than allowing them to move forward with this shit, because then we'll be disturbed. We will be disturbed if we let them do what it is that they want to do. They lied about everything. They lied about way too much stuff. And a lot of the shit that they lied about is because, man, they don't trust the average man to have a fucking say-so or any input or even bask in the glory of a lot of the big shit that they got going on. Because they think all of y'all are stupid. And they made y'all stupid, too. They made sure that that was the case. The public school system that teaches y'all, like, what to think, not how to think. And even then, how much of that do you even retain that you apply to your life? Almost none of it. When was the last time you felt like your job was saved because you remembered a lesson in history class and how that went, and now it just saved your job? Man, get out of here, man. Um, they set the background for y'all in these public schools so that you carry with you this narrative, this idea of patriotism that's tainted with the fact that the U.S. corporation is not even a real country at all. It's a corporation with a goon squad. And then they make you pledge allegiance to it when you're way too young. All that hypnotic bullshit, pledging allegiance to the flag and shit in the classrooms and shit, man, fuck out of here. That's why they do that shit there and nowhere else. Because they want to talk to the kids, and then they watch you grow up, and then you'll be willing to fight, get arrested, maybe even get your ass beat in front of your motherfucking kids because you want to fight a man who refused to stand during the national anthem at a sporting event. Shut the fuck up, man. Nobody has to really like that shit like that. The only reason why I rock with America as a country is because I know politically they want to destroy what the political structure is in this country so that they can make us more like other countries, and that part I don't like. And in that regard, I say leave America alone, leave the flag alone, leave us as we are, and to let us handle it the way we want to. It can't be regime change or a drastic political change in America on their terms. It has to be on our terms, and that means revolution. And I don't care what anybody thinks about any of that. The point of this video, though, that I want to talk about with me aspiring to be a filmmaker in my younger days and shit like that, and how all of that happened and blah, blah, blah. I'm tangential. I fucking go way off the rails a lot of the times. But what it is that I wanted to talk to you guys about movies that do speak some level of truth. And I give y'all some of my top 2 or 3 that I really like a lot. Maybe 3, 4, or 5, because there's a lot of good movies. But if you could think of any movies, put it in the chat. What movies you like that you think woke you up or pointed to some social issues that you find to be very fascinating and important. A movie that just comes off as a little bit more than a movie to you. What up, Ghost? Ghost is in here. The only one comment. Who else in this bitch? Speak up. My girl. The girl I'm with does family court. Yeah, you told me that before. Her job as a social worker, that's her area of work. Yeah, man, and that's sad, bro. Because what I don't like about the family courts in general, my girl wanted to get involved in that too, and I asked her not to do that shit. Is because hypocritical things that we find to be very damaging. When they play out in such contradictions, it's just something I want her to separate herself from, to not be involved in that shit. And watching a state like I grew up in, Illinois, legalize marijuana, and then a neighbor state like Iowa, and then some other states too, how they have not legalized marijuana yet. So then you see this great contradiction. While one state is illegal on the marijuana, they are willing to do some things to your life that could be traumatic to you and your children, and your lives will never be the same again. Remember how I try to point this out even in my own life. Every little thing, especially when it's not even a little thing, when it's a major thing, and you can see this going to be a pivotal moment that's going to drive your life in a certain direction that you can never fucking undo. Um, you have to take note of that. So imagine um, um, a brother, two brothers living in two different states where one of the states says weed is legal, the other one says it's not. And where it's not legal, that brother is pulled over, weed found in the car, weed in the system. He gets arrested. They might want to search his home. They find weed in the home, and then they say we have to take your kids, or we have to do this and that, and then the children have to go through this shit. Then you got to go through rehab, and then you have to do all this other shit. So then they got their public service wheels, their gears are turning very often about things that is not even a business in the first place. These are all violations of the Constitution as well. And the state of Illinois, as it is right now, they believe that's a violation of the Constitution. That's why they legalized marijuana, to say we can't continue to treat you guys in this way because something is wrong when we treat you like this in this way. So they legalized it, saying that they believe that this is a step closer to some freedom for adults to just be adults, for them to just be people. Be careful with your conduct around your children about the marijuana, but it's not going to be grounds for us to take your kids out of your fucking home, throw you in jail, all this other shit. Now you got court fees and fines and fucking jail sentences, might even affect your job. You might lose your job, man. Fuck all of that. One state will do that to you, the other state won't. And I think that's weird to me, bro. And I wanted my girl to not get involved in that contradicting bullshit. Don't be in a state where weed is illegal and then you're willing to do that to somebody's family when we know that that's wrong. And she agreed to stay out of that. But movies, man, movies that get your gears cranking. The Truman Show, if you've never seen that, watch that shit. Fight Club is in my top 3 for sure. I always mention Fight Club. Dope ass fucking movie. The movie has a crazy twist to the end of it if you ain't never seen it. And I think the twist goes even deeper. If you really look into it, there's a whole lot about that movie that you don't realize is happening. All the way to the end, you don't realize what had just happened to you psychologically. Fight Club is a dope ass movie. Sin City by Robert Rodriguez, I think his name is. And then Quentin Tarantino guest directed. He assisted the direction of the movie Sin City. It's a comic book style movie. Real groundbreaking in how they filmed it and what was going on. It's a dope movie. That's in my top 5 for sure. One of my favorite movies. And the antagonists in that movie are bad guys that hurt children, and they actually eat other people. Some of the bad guys, and some of these bad guys have political power that they're hiding behind in order to do this. Sin City is a dope movie. If you ain't never seen it, you missing out. Go watch that fucking movie, man. There's another Jim Carrey movie that people should watch, that if you're not really privy to it, you're gonna watch it and love this movie. It's a sad movie to watch around Valentine's Day because it's about a breakup, and it really is sad, like psychologically what they're saying about breakups and shit like that, and trying to come together with another human being, especially in your adult life, and you're trying to come together with another human being. This ain't like, a junior high crush where you 13 years old and you in school and you think you like this girl. Like, it's different than that, because when you are dating in your adulthood, when you taking pregnancy risks and shit like that, I've learned my lesson. I had 3 baby mamas. I learned my lesson that you got to try to filter what it is that you got going on, and the understanding, the like trying to appreciate people for who they are and not take blame for who they are or take offense to it because I know it had nothing to do with me. When I say that about myself, that shit is reflected in this Jim Carrey movie called Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It's a long title. You got to watch that movie. And it's strange because the movies that I tend to like are the ones that I seem to see a bit of me in the movie. And of course, jokes are funny when you can relate to them, so being able to relate to a movie is definitely going to help you feel all of the intent of the writer, directors, and even the actors and stuff in these movies. What else is a dope ass movie? Ex Mechanica, or however you say that, Ex Mechanica, I think it is. The AI movie. That movie will blow your fucking mind. Crazy movie. Go watch that shit if you ain't never seen it. Very weird movie. That movie fucked my head up. At the end of it, I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Yeah, crazy movie. Crazy movie. I haven't seen it in a while too. I seen it like 2 or 3 times some years ago, and then I haven't seen it since, but I should watch that again. What other movie is just fucking dope? That make you think. Of course, The Matrix. That's a given. That's a given. If you guys like The Matrix, there's another movie that came out around the same time that The Matrix did. It might have even came out before. And it was crazy that you can describe this movie in the same way that you described The Matrix. There's one guy that seems to be special over everybody else because he literally can wake himself up when everyone else is sleeping, and he can see that reality is being controlled by strange men. He can see that reality is being controlled by strange men who dress in all black, who kind of look alike because you can hardly tell them apart. And that they have this menacing attempt and desire to control the minds and perceptions of mankind for their greater good, for what benefits them. You can describe The Matrix and this other movie the same way, and you wouldn't know which one you was talking about. But this movie is called Dark City. It's not nearly as good as The Matrix, but it tells a very similar story, and I think it's good and it's worth to watch. Go watch Dark City. It might have came out in 98 or 99, maybe even 2000, but The Matrix came out in like 98 or 99. I can't remember which one came first, but I know it's so close together that I'm very surprised that two movies that had something that powerful to say came out like at the same time like that. What other movies like just kind of fuck with my head? Is it Shutter Island with Leonardo DiCaprio? That movie will fuck your head up. There's nothing political or like introspective about that movie, really. It's just kind of weird how they twist the movie. The movie actually pissed me off. When I got to the ending and realized what the truth was and the twist that they had for the movie, it pissed me off. It made me not like the movie. It's a twist nonetheless, and it is a good movie in the way that they do it because you don't see it coming. So I understand all of the structure and intent behind the making of the film. I just think the end of the movie is so heartbreaking that it pissed me off, and it didn't make me feel good at all. I didn't like it because of that, but I like it because the effect that they intended to have on me, they got it. And then I said I'm never watching that movie again. But I do recommend it because it is good. There's something about it. What other movie? If y'all can think of any movies, man, put it in the chat. Put it in the comments. Asan Hook, what up? Good director, Richard Linklater. Never heard of him. I'll look that up. The Gray State with David Crowley. Hey, yo. Oh, when you talk about like documentary type angles like that, The Gray State, I stumbled upon The Gray State shortly after I quote unquote woke up to the fact that government is like evil and shit and controlling the world with like hypnosis and this great illusion of authority that they back up with the fact that they have a propensity for some deep dark violence, and then they illustrate that violence to you, and then you get this, if you can't beat them, join them kind of a thing. You start looking to them to protect you. You start wanting to buddy up with the bully so that you can beg them for, like, you know, snacks and, you know, a little shelter from the rain, and maybe even to help you when another bully tries to, you know, intervene in your life. Like, you do that, but the whole time you know that this is a soul-eating animal. The U.S. government is. It's a corporation. It's not even real like that. They just know how to fight, so now you're scared. This is what the problem is. You're scared of them. You don't like them like that. You're scared, right? But The Gray State, when I saw that, It was just perfect timing. The synchronicity of different bits and pieces and elements to what made me into a revolutionary gun activist, gun rights activist. Um, every little thing just showed up right on time, man. As soon as the gate was opened, and it's like, oh, welcome here, try this, sample this, taste a little bit of that, and then all of these things kind of unfolded, and it was beautiful, man. The Great State is some dope ass shit, and I ain't seen it in a while, and I need to watch it. The Addendum, and what was the other one? Uh, uh, there's the Addendum, and then there's Zeitgeist. Zeitgeist. That's another little documentary kind of a thing. Those three things: the Great State, the Addendum, and the Zeitgeist thing. Y'all should go check that out. That'll fuck your shit up. Ain't no way in hell you gonna be able to Jay said who? Statham, however you pronounce that. I'm gonna check that out too. I'll check him out to see what work he has put. Scanner Darkly, Asan Hook. That's crazy that you would mention that. I was just, no joke, on my kids. I was just trying to describe a Scanner Darkly in the animation in comparison to the Spider-Man movie to a guy that I work with, and I recommended that he watch a Scanner Darkly because it's got a bunch of famous faces in there. Keanu Reeves, Woody Harrelson, Robert Downey Jr. It's got a bunch of people in it, and the animation is so dope. And the story with the fucking government involvement in the drug thing, that shit is dope. A Scanner Darkly. Good fucking, man, hell yeah, man. There's a Scarface too? I gotta go check that out. I had no idea. Thanks, Hassan Hook. Man, hey, you rock too, bro. Anybody that can rock with me, all I know is either you already knew what it is that I'm saying and you can understand it, or you can understand it when I say it. That makes us brothers, and that makes me know better than you. As soon as you go, y'all, cause now you know what I know. Now you see what I see, even if you didn't before. That makes me know better than you. So I rock with you too. All the same, bro. There's a new Civil War movie. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it yet either. I was told that I should check that out. What other movie is crazy? I think zombie movies. The whole zombie genre, I think that is interesting. It was the only movies really that scared the living shit out of me, no pun intended, when I was a kid, that I just never let go of. It was two things because they seemed way too real to me, too possible. The zombie movie, that I could end up being the monsters that I was running from, or that my mom or my siblings might then be the bad guys if they get bitten. That freaked me out with the zombie shit. Number two, Leatherface in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, he scared the fuck out of me because it didn't take anything supernatural to make that real. I thought that maybe there could be a cannibalistic family in Texas chasing people around with a chainsaw for real. That shit was just real to me when I was a kid. You couldn't shake it because it took no supernatural shit to scare me. It took no supernatural shit for me to place it in my imagination and then compare it to reality. It just seemed like more feasible than a ghost movie. And the ghost movies were scary when I was a kid, but I was like, ghost, until I see something ghost, like I'm not gonna really give it credit. But Texas Chainsaw Massacre freaked me out. I was like, no, that nigga's down there. Chainsaws are real. People eat people sometimes, and maybe that's what he's doing down in Texas. I don't know. So when I was 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, 11 years old, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre scared the fuck out of me. I'm still fascinated with it. I even tell people in a joking way, but I'm not fucking joking, that if they ever banned all the guns and removed them, I would then just carry a chainsaw. So I'd just be out in public with a chainsaw on me, out here with my family, because anybody want to fucking fight. And there ain't no guns out here because they removed them all. That ain't gonna never happen. This is a pipe dream that they think they have to even try to enact any type of gun control or a total gun ban. Ain't gonna never happen. What does that mean? That just means that they didn't ban and remove all of the guns successfully when they had a total gun ban. If they do that, what they mean is they're willing to fight whoever won't listen. You never lose any rights. They only threaten to fight you, and then you have to either back down to the fight or stand up to the fight, but you didn't lose no rights. You can't lose no rights. Yeah, man, movies. It's a beautiful thing. I want to get back into it. I still consider myself an aspiring filmmaker, and if I can brush some of my normal responsibilities out of the way, if I can relieve myself from my 9-to-5 job by making my activism all it is that I do, then I would strongly consider and probably push right back into the idea of independent filmmaking. I'm not doing a Hollywood thing, but independent films, I would do that. I've written 4 films registered with the Writers Guild in LA as original pieces of intellectual property. All of my registrations have expired, but I need to renew them. And what you can do is you can write a 20-page summary without no dialogue of what your movie is about. Tell the story as detailed and as colorful as you can without any fucking dialogue, and get to the point of it. And if you can do that within 20 pages, you can send that to the Writers Guild in LA. I think there was another one in New York. And someone will read it over, and then they compare it. They do an analysis, compare it to other movies, and if they feel like your movie is original enough and that you haven't stolen it or someone else's idea or something that's already either registered or already in production, or some old movie, it wouldn't matter. They give you a certificate that says that you did not steal this fucking movie, that it is considered original. That way, when you try to get a producer to help you make your film, they know that they're not going to get sued. It's a seal of approval so that they know that they can rest assured that they won't get sued because you didn't copy this movie, that it is actually yours. It's your idea, original enough to make a movie without being sued by it. And I did that with 4 films, and I need to re-register those because they're all good. I can update them with some of the new information and perspectives that I have in the world. But what's crazy is that before I was ever fucking revolutionary, as I see myself today, my movies already sounded like that. Shit that I do is always one step ahead of what I discover later in my life. It always does that. It did that with the film shit before I decided to do that. It did it with the gun rights activism before I even decided to do that. It's actually a trade-off, actually. It goes, from one thing to the other in a smooth transition, a trade-off for me to build my life up to who I am and what I am right now. That's why I won't hurt y'all. I don't know what kind of journey y'all on, bro. I'm supposed to leave you alone. I'm having fun walking through my journey and reflecting on things and planning for a future. I'm probably not going to be the one to disturb yours, to end your life, to hurt you, to kill you over what, bro? It would take a lot, man. You'd have to reveal yourself to be very violent and damaging to my life or someone else's before I think that it should be you that should lose yours. That would take a lot. I try to love everybody that I can, man. And your life is precious to you. And I'll try to, leave you alone to that until you force me to do otherwise. They Live is also another one. That's a classic. That's a good one, man. They Live. Cannot sleep. Y'all can't sleep on that, bro. Prometheus. I heard about that Rage Against the Machine. Somebody told me about that before, and I've never seen it, and I should do that. Thanks for the y'all keep it going. I gotta end this live stream. Peace and love to y'all, man. Keep it going. Hollywood is fucking evil, but it does not mean that we cannot learn something about ourselves and about the world by watching it. You just gotta watch it with that angle. Take everything with a grain of salt. Just know that they're trying to either reveal something to you or convince you of something that might not be your own thinking. And if you tell yourself inside of a film while you're watching it that you're not going to let them hijack your emotions to fucking politically or emotionally sway you in a direction that does not seem natural or beneficial to who you are, then you got to learn how to discard that and turn away from that. Don't let them fool you. But if you can find any benefit into the shaping of who you are, your perspective, and what you have going on, if you relate at all to any of these things in these movies, it could be a good thing. You just gotta know how to navigate these things. RPM Trade Vietnam in this bitch. Who bang get a gun today? Buy a fucking gun today. Yo, check out the merch. Link in the description. This one right here says, I am the weapon. The gun is the tool. Right? What you know about that? That's the absolute fucking truth, bro. It's me. It's me, man. It's me that's the weapon. The gun is a tool to be used however I see fit, and I choose to use the guns in defense. I don't have an assault rifle. I don't know what that is. I got a defense rifle. It's the only thing that I intend on using it for. So that's what I call it. They say assault rifle. I don't even know who they talking to. I stopped listening. I was like, oh, y'all not talking to me. I got defense rifles. Y'all was talking to the bad guys, right? Because you're not talking to the good guys when you talk that control shit. That don't work like that. I think they want to fight. They're going to come out here and get one fucking with a real American. But, yeah, man, get a gun today, bro. You deserve to protect your own fucking life. Please consider watching They Live, Aware of Myself Says. They Live is a dope-ass movie. I actually used a little clip from that movie in my edited videos that's on my YouTube channel right now. When the woman, I think they're in the bank, and she says, I've got one that can see, to the fucking walkie-talkie or whatever, her earpiece or whatever the fuck she got going on. She's trying to alert her other creature alien buddies that someone is on to what it is that they're doing, and they can see them. I use that clip in my videos. I'm very aware of They Live. I love the fight scene. That's what it feels like I'm doing out here, kicking ass and getting my ass kicked, trying to wake people up. And they will be happy to see what it is that I see if they will only fucking turn their vision to look. Just look this way. Look at this. You know, peace and love to y'all, man. Y'all know what to do. The shirt is dope, though. Thanks, Rage Against the Machine. The t-shirt is dope. Y'all go check the merch out. What y'all know about a nigga making the merch, right? With images of me wearing the merch. I got on the merch in the fucking image that I got on the merch, man. Quit playing with me. Woo, bang, boy.